Thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. We are making fried rice today, so it's gonna be a quick and easy one. I have some rice already cooking here, but I'm gonna show you how to cook it up. What are you doing watching? We will go ahead and get started here momentarily. Thank you guys so much. Hi Gina. Hi Chef Justin. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing good. We will be making fried rice today. We are starting with China. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. What time is it? Oh, do I have a watch? We'll go ahead and get started here in 4 minutes. If you want to start gathering all your ingredients, and we can go ahead and get started here shortly. If you would like to go ahead and put your rice in a bowl, your 4 cups of rice. A good thing to kind of follow is 1 cup of rice equals 4 cups of water. So for every 1 cup, you're gonna need 4 cups of water. If you wanna make a full recipe, you are more than welcome to make a full recipe, or you can make a half recipe, whatever you like to do. I already have my rice here cooking, but I'm gonna show you the first step into getting your rice prepped to start cooking it. I already have mine here cooking so that we can go ahead and move along. But I'm gonna show you how to prep your rice before you actually start boiling it, because you do wanna do a process to cleaning your rice, things like that. Again, thank you so much for joining us to Camp Puga. We appreciate you all so much. Remember to like, comment, and share this video. More than anything, share the video. We appreciate it. We are at 1.6 thousand members on Camp Puga, so we're really excited for that. We will be doing another big giveaway for our 2,000 members on Camp Puga. Also remember, we have our YouTube channel. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post all of our videos that we do here on our YouTube channel. And always remember that we have our big event coming up for feeding El Paso families in 3 weeks. We will be releasing the link for you to register, get your ticket for that event tomorrow. So you make sure if you are part of Camp Puga, you are in El Paso or surrounding areas, Las Cruces, Socorro, Chaparral, El Paso, Horizon, west side of El Paso, Las Cruces, Canutillo. Make sure you register. There's only 200 baskets left. We're doing, out of the 400 families, there's 200 left. So I'm gonna encourage the campers. I will be posting the link for Camp Puga campers to register first on Monday, and then I'll be releasing it out to the media the rest of the week. So it gives you campers the opportunity to register as soon as possible. Do remember that those will go really, really quick. It's only 200 bags left. So I'm at Camp Puga. I think out of all of our 1,600 members, there's probably 1,200 in El Paso. So out of those 1,200, just remember, only 200 bags are going to be released. So if you want a bag, a free grocery pickup, and it's actually a recipe pickup, I don't want to say grocery pickup. It's going to be a Camp Puga event, exactly how we do it here. You're going to go to a location and pick up all the groceries you need for that live event. I'll be posting another video this week on exactly how the event's gonna work. So you can make sure to register. You can pick up those items for your recipe. Everything is gonna be given to you. The full recipe, ingredients will be given to you. You just tune into the video on a Saturday night and enjoy with everybody else in El Paso. So make sure you register to that as soon as you can. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are gonna be making fried rice today. It's a very simple, quick recipe. Probably the longest part of your recipe is gonna be cooking your rice, which is why I already started pre-cooking my rice here. But I'm gonna show you how to clean your rice and prep it to start boiling it. So what I have here is I have some of my sesame oil. I have my green onions. I have some garlic. I have some ginger powder, my peas and carrots, my soy sauce, and my eggs. You have all the exact measurements. I decided to cut the recipe down a little bit just because I don't need that much fried rice for myself. But we will be going over these ingredients. I'm gonna actually show you how to clean your rice before you actually start cooking it. So whatever amount of rice you're deciding to do, I went ahead and put a full recipe on Campuga. You're more than welcome to half it, make 1/4 of the recipe. It's up to you on how you want to do it. So I have some rice here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my rice before I actually boil it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the amount of rice that I'm gonna be using in a bowl, and I'm gonna fill it up with some water. To the point where it's just covering the top of the rice. What you're gonna go ahead and do, fork is fine. You're gonna either grab a fork or a spoon, whatever you like, and then you're gonna go ahead and just mix up your rice. What you're gonna try to do is, one, you're gonna release all the, either it's little particles, probably a little bit of dirt, a lot of the starch in that rice. You're gonna go ahead and mix it up in your water here, and then you're gonna drain it out. You're gonna do this twice. So you're gonna go ahead, you don't need to add a bunch of water, the same amount of water you would if you were gonna boil it. You're just adding enough water to clean your rice before you actually cook it. This is kind of the first step in making sticky rice, exactly the same way. You would clean it out, you would take out all the starch from it. It's the same thing you would do for this fried rice. So if you can see this here, the separation is, the water is pretty murky, it's pretty white, foggy. I'm gonna go ahead and strain this out. And then I'm gonna do that process one more time. Exactly that same process. I'm gonna pour some water in there, I'm gonna mix it up, get as much of the particles out of there, and then I'm gonna strain it right back out. But remembering how many cups of rice you actually have in your bowl. So remember that 1 cup of rice equals 4 cups of water. So if you wanted to do, the recipe calls for 4 cups, you would need 16 cups of water, which is a very large amount of rice. You can do half of that. So you can do 8 cups of water to 2 cups of rice. That's probably a lot more ideal. It's up to you what you want to do. That's up to your availability. And again, you're just gonna go ahead and let that boil and let all of your water absorb into your rice. Once your water has completely absorbed into your rice, you're gonna get something to look like this, where you're gonna strain it, and at that point, there's probably gonna be little to no water to be strained anymore, because the rice has already absorbed absolutely everything. And that's exactly what you're looking for, is your rice to absorb absolutely everything. Right here, I did a half recipe. So I did 2 cups of rice and about 8 cups of water. And I've had this boiling here for just about 10 to 15 minutes prior to Campuga starting. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up a little bit to make sure, just to kind of see at the bottom how much water I'm gonna need to take out. And to be truthful with you, there's practically no water left, which is exactly what I'm looking for. It's exactly what would happen if I had this. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna grab a bigger bowl, just like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this rice to the side. Let me tell you why. I'm not gonna go ahead and throw this rice automatically in here, because I am going to first add my sesame oil into my pan. So I'm gonna let that sesame oil start warming up, start heating up before I throw my rice in there, because I'm gonna still wanna toast up my rice before I start making the fried rice. So I'm gonna put some of that oil in there. Let me grab another spoon. I'm gonna put your sesame oil in your pan, and you're gonna go ahead and let that start to heat up. That's gonna be the first part of your recipe. So you have your sesame oil in there. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more. I'm gonna let that heat up before I throw my rice in there, and then I start adding all of my other ingredients in there. So you're gonna let this heat up. It'll take, if you have your stove top, you should have it probably about a medium. I see a hello, Manuel, I think.
Marisol.
Oh, Marisol, hello Marisol. So you're gonna go ahead and start heating up your sesame oil. Again, it's gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes to start heating up. Once you have that heated up, the way you can kind of notice if oil is heated is it starts to look kind of like water. It doesn't really look like a thick consistency anymore. It starts to look like water. It starts to thin out. That's exactly what you're gonna look for. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna actually pour in or put in my rice. And then you're gonna start cooking down your rice. It's gonna start kind of toasting it up. It's still really, really hot, and that's okay. All right, now that you have your rice in here, what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna go ahead and start adding some of your ingredients. So the first thing I like to add is my onions, because what the onions are gonna do is the onions are gonna release some flavor into your rice. So when I mix in those onions, the onions are gonna start releasing a lot of that flavor into your rice. I might have cooked the rice a little too much, it's sticky. Make it sticky. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and stir in all of your onion, and then you can go ahead and start adding your other ingredients. So this is gonna be our garlic. Again, every ingredient you start putting into your rice, you're gonna go ahead and put it in and then mix it up. So you can start combining into those flavors. Next thing I'm gonna go ahead and add is gonna be our carrots and our peas. So a quick tip to kind of get things done quicker is instead of cutting up your carrots and then adding them, you can go ahead and grab your peas and carrots in your frozen section, get a package of that, and then you can go ahead and throw that into your fried rice. Again, fried rice happens really, really quick. I also put in the recipe there that it gives it a lot more different texture. If you cook your rice the day before, that way your rice has a chance to dry out. If you do it automatically, you are gonna get a little bit stickier. But if you do rice that's already pre-made from the day before, or you make it earlier in the day and let it dry out, that's gonna still give you that solid looking rice. If you do it automatically, you're gonna get a little bit of chunky rice. Nothing's wrong with that. You're not gonna get that perfect look that you're looking for that you would in an authentic fried rice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add our ginger. At this point, you're gonna wanna put your rice at a high heat, because you're really gonna wanna start cooking it before you throw in your eggs in there, because you're gonna want your eggs to cook kind of instantaneously. Your eggs, you're gonna want them to scramble up. All right, so I have all my ingredients in here. I'm gonna let that cook down for about 3 to 5 minutes to kind of cook out all the rest of that water that's inside of the retaining rice that we just made. Remember, if you did it right away, it's gonna look a little sticky, and there's still gonna be a lot of that water in there that you can't really strain out anymore. So you're gonna have to let it cook itself out. Now, if you already did it previously, like the recipe said, pre-cooked rice, at that point, all the water has been really absorbed into your rice and it's kind of dried out. And then you can throw it in here and you should be perfectly fine. Fried rice happens, again, really, really quickly. You're gonna wanna go ahead and let it cook to the point where it's sounding like it's toasting on the bottom. That's exactly what you're looking for. Again, about 3 to 5 minutes, you can go ahead and let it sit. Let all of that steam cook out of your rice. If you guys are just joining in, we're at the last portion of our fried rice. Thank you so much for joining us. Please remember to share this video. We are at 1,600 members for here at Camp Puga. We appreciate you all so much. If you are wanting to do the event of Feeding El Paso Families, we will be posting the link for that starting tomorrow. It'll be a registration to get your ticket for Camp Puga's Feeding El Paso Families if you're in the El Paso area or Paso region. It'll be May 22nd. The pickup will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And then our live video, exactly how we are here, will go live at 6 o'clock. The reason we are doing a pickup is we are gifting you 100% of the recipe ingredients you will need for that event. So it's not just tuning in with the recipe, it's actually going and picking up all the ingredients. We have had a couple of sponsors come in, Jimmy Garza, New Mexico State Hospitality and Tourism Program, El Paso's Hotel Association, Cisco Food Incorporation are one of our big sponsors for this event. So if you are wanting to do this event, you can pick up the ingredients May 22nd and join us for that night as we do a cooking class for free all together. All right. So we have pretty much a good, you can see a lot of the steam is still coming out. What I'm gonna go ahead and do, my eggs are gonna be the last part that I'm gonna do of my fried rice. I'm gonna go ahead and add my soy sauce. This is gonna change the color. It's the fried rice that we're looking for. It's gonna change a lot of the flavor. It's gonna give it that good fried rice flavor. And the same thing, we're gonna have to cook this down a little bit so the moisture doesn't stay in our fried rice. Now, if you think that you wanna add a little bit more color or more flavor, feel free to add a little bit more soy sauce. I would taste as you go to make sure you're getting the right flavor for your fried rice. All right, so mine still looks a little bit pale. I'm gonna add a little bit more. That should be just right. The same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I give it another 3 to 5 minutes to cook down that soy sauce before I add in my eggs. Now you can do the eggs 2 different ways. You can either crack your eggs in a bowl, just like that, and throw them in and then mix it up and kind of get that texture of the egg you're looking for. Or you can scramble it here, scramble it on the side, and then throw it in there. Depending on how you want to do it, I personally like to just throw everything in one pot. I don't like to get as much things dirty or get a lot of things dirty. So I'm gonna do it all in one pot. I'm just gonna throw my eggs in there, mix them up, let them scramble up, and then we should have a fried rice recipe. Again, fried rice is really, really simple. It's better to use rice that is already pre-made or made the day before, because that rice tends to hold up a lot better. Now, nothing's wrong with doing it right then and there. You can go ahead and do that. You're just gonna get a little bit more of a mushy consistency because of the water that needs to be cooked out of it still. So we're gonna give this another 3 to 5 minutes. Let all that steam come out of our rice and our soy sauce that was put in there. Our last ingredient that we need to put in here is going to be, somebody just messaged me. The last ingredient that we are going to be putting in there is gonna be our eggs. And then we are pretty much done with our fried rice. A nice, simple, easy recipe. Again, here on Camp Puga. I think what I'm gonna do for next week, I'm not gonna mention it yet. I'm gonna try and do kind of like a poll. So I'm gonna let you all vote on what you wanna do for the next recipe. So I'll be posting that either later on today or by tomorrow for sure, on what you would choose, what you would wanna do next for next week, or you would wanna see, so that you can have a recipe to try at home. I'll be putting that in the Camp Puga group later on today. Smells great. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna move all of my rice kind of to one side. I'm gonna throw my eggs on one corner and let them start cooking up a little bit before I start scrambling it all in. So I'm gonna cook my eggs on the side here a little bit before I start scrambling it all into my rice. Can I actually bring the camera over here?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you guys, yeah, just turn it up. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a little bit what this is looking like. Ow. So I have, if you can see it, yes. So I have my eggs scrambled here on the side. I pushed all my rice to one side here, just like that, so that I can go ahead and start cooking my eggs on one side. You can just throw it completely into the other side if you would like and just start scrambling it. But this is another method that you can do, is you can start going ahead and cooking your eggs on one side, and then you can start combining everything together. This is that one pot magic thing that I was talking about. Instead of getting a whole bunch of different pots dirty, I can do it all in one pot here. So all I'm doing here is I'm cooking off my eggs just enough so that when I start combining it here, and as you can see, the rice here looks a little sticky, but that's due to me cooking it right at the moment. If I would have left it out, it would have looked a little bit different, but it's gonna taste all exactly the same and it's gonna be just the same. All right, so I pretty much have my good chunks of scrambled rice here. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna start adding it into my fried rice all together. And then you have your nice big chunks of fried rice in there. And your rice should be hot enough that it's gonna scramble your eggs immediately. So you don't have to worry about really cooking down your eggs a lot, because they're evenly distributed amongst your rice. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and give now this another 3 to 5 minutes, and then we will plate our fried rice. Can I move them back a little? Oh, I haven't had you guys this up close in a while. Alrighty, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and plate our fried rice. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to add, I have my bowl here. Again, it looks a little sticky because we did it right at the moment of cooking it. It'll look a lot different if you had it, I'm making a mess, if you had it drying out. Let me show you the product. You have your fried rice, looks great, nice and steamy. Go ahead and use this as a side on probably our next ingredient, our recipe for next week. So be ready for our next recipe next week, as we will be embarking in another recipe for China. We'll see you guys soon. Remember to share, like this video, and I appreciate you guys being here. Be looking out for that video on Monday, as we will be talking about our event here for Camp Puga, feeding El Paso families. Have a good one, guys. See ya.